We're starting off with Justin Tucker, who was accused of sexual misconduct by 16, bro. 16, bro. It's just like that's a little much. That's 16. That's
Definitely
a
not
bit
sweet.
much.
Definitely not sweet. Definitely not sweet.
It ain't no sweet 16. Here's the thing I've always not been able to understand, Ty. Like, all right, me and you are not rich athletes, movie stars, anything like that. But
Well, speak for yourself, sir.
oh, okay.
I'm all the above.
Oh, okay. Can I hold something? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's not how you stay rich.
Oh damn! I know the whole time you was a whole movie star. I didn't read the memo.
Hey, look, that's how you got to move. Like you just a regular. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, got a regular degular, man.
With the confidence thing. For me, I just feel like, all right. The point was, as what I perceived as, maybe not today, but there was a time 20 years ago we met that we were just average Joes, right? Even when we thought we was balling by certain standards, right? Yeah, but we never really had I don't feel like I never had the urge to try to force sex in a place where it wasn't naturally happening. I don't understand these NBA, football, baseball. I don't understand these sports people, these athletes with multi-million dollars in their wallets, in their bank accounts, that can't go to OnlyFans, that can't go to the Strip, that can't go to the, like, why do they have to go do this stuff with people that are unwilling? Like, help me understand that. The Robert Krafts, the Justin Tucks, the Deshaun, like, what? Why? Like, help me understand it. I literally don't get it.
You know, that's a good question. One that I really can't answer. I mean, I'm not them. I don't really operate. I don't really operate in that same mindset. But if I was a betting man, I would probably say that there is a lot of ego, and also a lot of trauma from these individuals that pursue and kind of prey on certain people. I think with Justin Tucker, you made a comment and you said, why not go and do an OnlyFans or go and get a, somebody out here that's into, rich football players. Yeah. And it's probably has a lot to do with proximity, and convenience. So he's, all of the women that have accused him have been, people that work at massage parlors and therapists, physical therapists, and those type of people. So the fact that has a consistent line of the same type of behavior with the same type of individuals, what bothered me the most about all of this was not just that, Justin Tucker is a jerk who can't keep his pecker in his pants. It's more about how the Ravens handled this. I looked at their comments and their official statement and saying that this was a tough decision.
A tough decision.
A tough decision. Now, usually I can get on board with a tough decision. You know what a tough decision is, Vince? A tough decision is whether or not I want to take a job in California when my family lives on the East Coast. That's a tough decision. That's really gonna change our lives. And it encompasses a whole lot of other people other than myself. That's a tough decision. You know what else is a tough decision? A tough decision is sometimes having that discussion with your wife where you have to figure out, what are we eating tonight? That's a tough decision. I mean, that's a tough decision. Sometimes you're like, I don't know. What are you feeling? I don't know. I maybe that always turns into a tough decision. You know what's not a tough decision, Vince?
What's not a
Firing someone who's been accused of sexual misconduct with 16 women. I think
that part.
I think at that point, that's a pretty clear cut, pretty easy decision. I don't think it takes a lot of thought. They're like, oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, we probably should let him go. This is getting out of hand. So when I hear the Ravens say it's a tough decision to cut this guy, and even down to the coach, when they talked to Harbaugh was like, I don't know anything. And that's how it should be. And we don't want to know anything. We just need him to kick the balls. Okay. And yes.
Well, I mean, because remember, I did. When you say kick the balls, that's funny. That's what the massage parlor was. That's what they was doing. Hey. Would you like us to kick the balls today, sir? Yes. I'm wondering, like, I already told you my experience. Like, contrary to popular belief, I was an athlete in name only in high school, and I did play kicker, starting defensive end for 2 games. Shout out to Oak Ridge. But in my tenure as a kicker for Lyman High School, I did also come into contact with one Sebastian Janikowski, who we knew was a whole vibe. Like, the dude kicked a 63. I mean, on the 50-yard line. I saw this motherfucker kick a 50-yard line, which is 63 yards, because you got to count the end zone. So when he went to Florida State, when he went over to play for the Raiders, I was like, this dude's crazy, because he was getting in trouble. He was making his field goals, though. But he was drinking. He was going to parties. He was a vibe. But he wasn't a sexual deviant. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just a vibe. Like, I don't get why a kicker. I mean, I guess as a kicker, yeah, you don't get a lot of props. You're always like, oh, I hear like receivers and offensive players saying, man, I hate kickers. All you got but one job. Like, nigga, that's a hard-ass job, bro. And they get more points than most folks. Like, they got to do an extra point after every fucking touchdown. And they move the extra point meter. Like, it's not as close as it used to be and shit. So I'm not trying to make excuses. But I'm just saying, like, the life of a kicker is one that isn't really necessarily glorified. I can understand wanting to make his life interesting. What I don't understand is involuntary putting yourself 16, bro. Yo, you could go to Thailand for 3 weeks and there will be no complaints about you, sir, because you basically got to fight them off. Like, hold on, wait, I want a massage. You know what I'm saying? I know, sir, you want a massage. I get it. Yes, yo, you want a massage. No. I want a massage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to put them. You be like, no. I don't know what you thought. I dozed off. That's not what I came for. Justin, you got the money to be able to afford a trip to Phuket, to go to Bangkok, to go to South Asia, to go to LA, to go to Atlanta, to go somewhere where you can actually get it, where they ain't gonna trip. Why go to a professional place where you are a target, where there are cameras, where there is a record, where they're gonna fuck with you? I don't understand it. Where is the sense? Where's the common sense? Now, it sounds like I'm trying to give them, like I'm trying to say, look, bro, if you're gonna be a sexual idiot, just do it the right way. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I guess I am. Because I don't think that being a sexual deviant, I think that the problem here isn't his sexual habits. The problem is the like him putting himself in the room with people that are not there for the same things and trying to force them into it as a professional player when you got the whole team name on your back. Now, you got to keep those things in mind. Here's what I want your help with, bro. Now let me clear that up, because I feel like I'm not saying. I feel like it's not coming out right.
It's not. I'm listening. I'm like, that's exactly the definition of a sexual deviant. I mean, by definition.
I use the R. Kelly argument. All right, it's like R. Kelly. It's not the problem isn't that you want all these women. The problem is that you want A, younger women, B, that you're taking, from what I understand, their freedom away by not allowing them to do all these other things. My whole thing is you have the access to millions of women that will willingly do what you want. Don't do it with the ones that don't want to do it, or the younger ones. What I'm saying with Justin is, if you need a massage, go to Tinder. Go somewhere where women will voluntarily, because they really actually want to, they will give you a massage everywhere, wherever you want. And you don't have to worry about them filing a lawsuit because it's an amicable, mutual relationship. Instead of going to a professional place of business and making these demands, if that's what's going on, allegedly, and then expecting people to be like, yeah, that's cool. I just don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I can understand. I don't excuse and I don't tolerate, and it's egregious. But I think that I would, if I saw like some incel who has no luck and I would understand more, even though it's still just as despicable. But I just don't understand people with privilege and power who need to take advantage of those without it. I don't get that.
And that's exactly, you just described why he chooses to go this route as opposed to the other options that are presently available. It seems as though Justin's whole thing is he wants to be able to dominate you. He wants to be able to take the choice out of your hand. If somebody comes into a room for a massage, you as the person who's giving the massage already have a plan. You have what you typically do, whatever your setup is and everything like that. You get ready to do what it is that you were certified to do, studied to do, practice to do. But when Justin comes in and drops the towel and you weren't prepared for that, that's him imposing himself on you at that point. So now you have a choice. You can remain uncomfortable, or you can leave out and think, because what I'm not hearing in a lot of the reports that came out was that he was like raping them. Like he didn't forcibly, like, he might have took his towel down and masturbated, and you don't have to stand there and watch him masturbate. Like you could leave at that point, but there's so much shock that comes involved with someone who's not prepared for what you just are imposing on them in that moment. And I get it. So I don't blame any of the women, but I do think that is what he's trying to do. He's trying to impose himself in a way that turns him on. Maybe he's aroused or turned on by that action, as opposed to going somewhere where he knows this is what's going to happen. This is freely, you know what I mean? It's one thing if he drops the towel and he's like, all right, let's go. And then, he's like, what? And he pulls his towel back up. He's like, this is not what I was expecting. It's like, that's these type of people do that type of stuff, man. And that's why you'll never understand it, because it takes a certain type of individual to make this make sense when it comes to doing stuff like that. The people that go out and you see them in grocery stores walking behind women, jerking off in their pockets and jerking off in their, like that. All of that is a prey. They're preying on those people. There's a certain level of control and dominance that you're trying to impose on people when you do that, whether you're staring them down and doing it. It's, so weird. That's why they call it devious. And that's why they call it devious. It's definitely not normal by any sense.
So creepy. Does this look like the dude who,
absolutely. Absolutely. That's not a good picture. Yes. He absolutely looks like a dude that is about to whip his dick out on you. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying,
that was not a good picture. That was not a good example.
Look, Justin Tucker.
That's not a good one either.
It's not. This one not. He got it.
He just dropped the towel just now. Like, what you gonna do with this? What you gonna do with this?
I'm two bags. He sold the two
balls
Walmart at the massage parlor. Yo, look. This is the part. Look, okay, listen. I wish we had a young lady on here. I wish there was somebody that could speak from the female perspective, because I would like to know. Like, listen, do you consider this man like completely unattractive, or would you? I mean, if I told you this dude had $10 million in the bank and was looking to cuddle with maybe some hanky panky, you know what I'm saying? Would you just say, oh hell no, like you would maybe with some of the other, with like I don't know, I can't think, I don't. But I would assume that they might be like, they would just be like, oh hell no, like they would with some people. Like they might be like, I mean, I need to know a little more or whatever. But
what women are we talking to? Because I think a lot of women are going to be like, you said 10 million. He's worth how much? I think I could. I've seen a lot of unattractive men out here with some very beautiful women, and it ain't because of their looks. Let's just put that out there. But you know what? It's us trying to come from a place of normalcy and make it apply to a person who is making erratical decisions. I think it makes sense to us to like kind of throw that to Justin, but I think Justin's whole thing is I don't want them to be down with it. I want it to be me coming in and look, this is me, and you got to stand there and take it, and that's what turns me on, and let me talk to you nasty, and you like that, you know what I'm saying? He's watched way too many porn movies, and he's living out his porn star stuff with people that didn't get the same contract. They didn't know that this was what was going on. He's walking into scenes and they're like, oh, what was happening? He's like, this is where he's like, Justin drops his towel and it's like Justin commences some masturbating. He's like, yeah. So and look, I know we're making light of it, but it is a serious issue. It is a serious issue. But I think the most serious part of all of this is how the Ravens organization is handling it. It took them this long. They let this dude play the whole season with these allegations looming. And then coming into at the end of the season, they still didn't let him go. We're moving into the next season, and they decide that they want to release him after making such a tough decision. Oh my gosh, this was one of the toughest decisions we've ever had to make as an organization. And it just it's screaming protect this white man and despite what he's doing, because I'm gonna be honest, the NFL's approach and how they dealt with the Deshaun Watson allegations was far different. I mean, it was how? News. Well, first of all, it was the top news on every Sports Center episode. It was like they discussed it in heavy regards. Don't get me wrong, this was reported on by ESPN. I'm not sitting here saying that no one reported on it. It just didn't garner the same coverage. It was not continued for the distance of it it was. I understand that Deshaun Watson is a quarterback and not a kicker, and they're different positions in the NFL and garner different exposure. But they're both men. They're both in the same, work for the same organization. And they both are accused of the same crimes. There shouldn't be a difference. It shouldn't be a difference in the two. It shouldn't. So I think when I look at this situation and I see how it was handled, and then I hear the tough decisions and all, like we didn't need to know anything. We didn't. Yeah, that's how it should be. And that type of stuff. When I know the conversations that loomed around Deshaun Watson during his allegations, and don't get me wrong, I think both of these guys have real major issues. and need to have some type of help, or not, because some people you can't help them because they don't want help. But the way that they were handled, it just doesn't scream fairness. It doesn't scream equality. It just seems like the Ravens were like, look, if it was just like 2 or 3, we probably could have just overlooked it. But the numbers started piling up, and we had to make a tough decision. That's the fine print that the players don't read in the contract. When they come to the NFL, because it's been the same way since college. When the college entities protect the players as well.
Right.
And then they get to the NFL, and it's the same type of behavior. There's fine print in those NFL contracts that's not in the college. And the fine print says, we're going to protect you as long as you are useful to us. The day that you become unuseful to us, this protection immediately disappears. And whatever you did while we had you under protection is all acceptable and admissible in a court of law. So yeah.
That's same thing they did to Ben Roethlisberger. Same thing that the Atlanta Falcons did to Michael Vick. Same thing that the Dallas Cowboys did to Michael Irvin. Nigga, we will only sweep your dirt under our rug. The minute your ass ain't standing on our rug, get you and your dirt and go on somewhere. Let's see if that other team is going to work as diligently as we worked to keep your dirt under wraps. Because you got to understand the level of conspiracy that needs to go on in order for that to take place. That means all the local reporters are in your pocket. Instead of running with the fucking story as soon as it hit the news blotter, they decide to call the GM instead. Hey, man, got this story out on your boy. I'm going to sit on it for today, but I'm going to have to report on it. Okay, I appreciate it. Then they call the agent. Hey, the news got a story on your boy. Then the agent called the manager. I thought you said you had a handle on that nigga. Then the manager called his boy. Hey, man, it ain't looking good for you out here. What you talking about? Man, they saying that they got a news story about you and old girl. I mean, fuck that bitch. Hey, I understand how you feel. I'm just saying, they saying they got a news story. How you want to handle it? Bro, we're just telling we don't know what she talking about. I mean, we did that last time, Joe. It's 22 women at this point. I mean, shit, what the team talking about? I mean, they saying they waiting to see what the police say. Police? Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that part. Oh, yeah, I talked to the lead detective today of the police department. Damn. He's a fan of yours. So he said he going to sit on it until the news story come out. And then they'll do a formal investigation and allow you to turn yourself in for questioning. So, we good on that end for at least the next week. But you need to find out what old girl wants from you so we can find out how we going to. I guess I'll call her today and see what she wants. And this happens every day, every city, every year.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. It sounds like I'm talking about the plot to a HBO Ballers episode or ESPN Playmakers episode, or I'm talking about some 50 Cent produced project on Stars. No, this is real life, G. This is real life where bodyguards, bouncers, private detectives, agents, managers, general managers of football teams, team owners, coaches, and position coaches, they all work together to keep this man's demons under wraps because we need him demonic because of what it does on the field. Never mind it spills over into his real life. As long as what he doing sells jerseys, tickets, hot dogs, and beer, we'll act like we don't see it.
Here's the funny part, though, Ron. Here's the funny part. Do you know anybody with a Justin Tucker jersey?
No.
Does anybody here know anybody caping for Justin Tucker?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. See,
now, maybe in Baltimore.
No. Don't, let's not go. We're not going to skip past the fact that Justin Tucker, when it comes to accolades, has all of them. Right, as a kicker, he has all the accolades.
Oh yeah, the boy, young Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, like it's not. So, are we wearing Justin Tucker? Probably not. But are there a whole bunch of Ravens fans that rock? This dude has been a Raven since he came in the league.
Fair enough, but are they?
It's people last name Tucker that's buying that jersey. It's people that really like the color purple that's buying that jersey. It's people who came up and their favorite number has always been number 9 that bought their jersey.
Okay, come on now. Y'all know the point that I'm making here, right? Do you really think like the quarterback, the running back, normally these are the stars, you know, on the team. And in this particular instance, they happen to have one of the best quarterbacks in the whole fucking league. And they are. So
and best running back, and one of the best running backs now.
Do you really think that of all of the jerseys being sold out of the Ravens jersey freaking outlet, that Justin Tucker is on the top 5 of that list?
Man, it's some white men in this country that are 5th generation Baltimore Ravens fans that have been Baltimore Ravens fans since they was the Baltimore Colts, and they whole family from Baltimore, and they white men. Right, so they love the Baltimore teams, the Orioles and the Ravens, but they just can't bring themselves to have a nigga's name on their back. So they be like, "Who's the white man on the team that's real good? We'll go buy his jersey instead."
Oh, that's terrible. Because if that's what they
the same way that niggas was going to buy Jackie Robinson jerseys as soon as they was available in the pro shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all the other Dodgers. Give me that number 42.
You call it Justin Tucker the great white hype of Baltimore? Is that what
I am.
Yeah.
Everybody else on the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, come on. Everybody else has been famous, has been black. Ed Reed, black. Ray Lewis, black. Lamar Jackson, black. What you talking about? Deion Sanders played for the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, okay, we're talking about the Ravens.
Okay, then. Right. Who the last famous white man you remember from the Baltimore Ravens?
Steve
Flacco.
Joe Flacco when he won a championship.
Joe Flacco, who also won a number 9. No, I'm just bullshit. I think Joe Flacco was number 8. But the point I'm making is whack ass Flacco had people buying his jersey. Because some people just ain't gonna support that black man, even though they support that team.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, listen, I think we definitely don't condone or support what's going down with the Justin Tucker bullshit. And yes, we saw what y'all did, NFL, and I'm taking the whole NFL because I don't think the NFL was unaware either.